Last time you built the front of the snout, and this time we're going to construct the sides. As we build the sides, it's important to pay attention to the shape. As you notice here in the sketch, this is a trapezoid shape to help the snout stick out and get narrower towards the nose and wider towards the head. If you were to construct the sides of the snout with all rectangles, you'd end up with something like this, which is three-dimensional but does not get any wider as it approaches the eyes. In order for this piece to get wider at one end, these sides need to angle out. In other words, it needs to be a trapezoid with the narrow side towards the nose and the wider side towards the face. You can see the difference between this snout, where I used trapezoids to build, and this one where I just used rectangles. Starting with a new piece of cardboard, we're going to first examine the cardboard to see which direction the corrugation runs. If you take off the top layer of a piece of cardboard, you can see the corrugation, which is just another layer of thick paper in a waffly shape. These parts create visible ridges in the cardboard. You want to pay close attention to the direction that those are going in, because it will make cutting and bending your cardboard easier. We're going to begin by making the top side of the snout. Find those ridges, and then bend the cardboard gently along the ridges so that it fits the top of your snout. Hold the nose to the edge of the piece of cardboard and make a little mark at each edge of the top of the nose. Think about how long it needs to be. Look at the picture to help you. And draw a line to mark how long the snout will be. Now, as you recall, we want this top shape to get wider as it goes towards the head. Make a line that goes from this mark to the line that you just drew that told you how long the snout would be. Make sure the line angles out because you're trying to create a trapezoid. From the other mark, you'll make a line that's a mirror image of the first one. That trapezoid will allow my snout to start small at the nose and get wider as it goes towards the eyes. I'm going to cut this out now. Because it's just straight lines, it should be relatively easy to cut. We're going to attach this top piece to our nose. We could just glue them together, but that's not going to be very secure. So we are going to use small tabs made out of a cardboard roll. To make these tabs, you'll take your cardboard roll, it can be from toilet paper or paper towels, and you'll squish it flat. Now use your scissors to cut along the fold. Fold each half in half. And cut along the fold. Now you can cut a bunch of individual little tabs. You may have pieces where the cardboard is separating a little bit from itself. You can either glue that down or just peel off the piece that's separated. Using our glue gun, we're going to make a small line of glue from the center of the tab to the edge. Now glue the tab to the narrow end of the cardboard trapezoid you just cut out. I think I can fit about 2 more on. One in the middle, and one on the other edge. It's okay if there's a little bit of space in between these tabs. In fact, it will probably make your life easier. Now, bend each of these tabs back. And make sure that the fold lines up with the edge of the cardboard. In these two cases it did, but in this case not quite. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue and push that tab up and fold it back again. Try to make sure it lines up with the edge. Now I'll put glue from this fold all the way to the edge of the tab. I'll line up the nose so that this part is centered, and I'll glue it down. If I want my cardboard piece to curve a little bit, I should hold it curved until the glue cures. Here's what it looks like from the back. Now I'm going to do the same process and make trapezoids for each side of the nose. Again, we'll start narrow and get wider. I can use this piece to help me know how long it should be, and I can use this piece to help me determine the width of the small edge of the trapezoid. Going back to this piece of cardboard that I used earlier, I know that this is the length of this piece. So if I just make this line go straight across here, and maybe use a ruler to confirm the length, so that I know that I'm drawing a straight line, then if I cut right here, I know that every piece that I cut will be the correct length. I have one side that angles out. That's perfect for right here. And now I just need to measure the smallest side that will connect to that front nose piece. Because my front piece curves a little bit, I'm also going to bend the cardboard to make sure that it fits properly. I'll try to make this next line that I draw a mirror image of the other angled line. I know that this side is going to be the same as this side. In the spirit of working smarter and not harder, rather than go through the measuring process again, I'm going to trace this piece. Fortunately for me, the amount of cardboard that I have left is just about what I need. Now I've created the two pieces for the side, and I'm going to go through the same process that I did with the top of the snout. I'll grab my tabs and I'll glue from the center to an edge. Gluing down the tab on the short edge of the trapezoid. These two tabs happen to overlap, but it's not a big deal. I'm just going to leave them like they are. Fold each of these tabs back. Make sure that the fold lines up with the short edge of your trapezoid. Glue from the fold to the edge on each of those little pieces. Line it up. Make sure it comes as close to that first piece as possible, bending if necessary. Hold firmly until the glue cures. Shouldn't take very long. This one didn't quite glue the way I wanted it to, so I'm going to rip it up. Add the glue again and press it into place. Now it's tighter to the nose. We'll do the same over here. Remember, you're holding it in place until the glue cures. And if you need to bend because your nose is rounded, do that while you are also squeezing to hold it together. At this point, you should see the shape of your snout getting wider as it goes back away from the nose. I need to start with a new piece of cardboard, so I'm going to check the lines on the cardboard so I can know where the corrugation is. And I'll use one of these pieces to help me measure. I can line up the long edge here and make a little mark. And I can do the same thing over here. And I'll use my ruler to connect the two marks. I'll cut this piece out, and then I'll go about my measuring. I need this piece to fit in this space, and you'll notice this part curves quite a bit. So to prepare this piece to fit, I'm going to need to curve it as well. If you found those lines of corrugation, it should be very easy for you to bend this cardboard so that it can fit. Remember that this piece needs to get wider as it goes back, so leave a little extra overlapping on both sides. Bend it to fit in place as best you can, and make your little marks for your guidelines. We're going to draw a line from this tick mark to an edge, making sure we angle the line out. It needs to get wider. And we'll do the same thing over here, angling the line out. Try to make that angle a mirror image of the other angled line. Now cut on your guidelines. Before I go through the trouble of gluing, I'm going to double check and make sure this piece actually fits. Fortunately for me, it looks like it fits well. I'm going to put my tabs on, and then I'll glue it to my snout. You're gluing from the center of the tab out to the edge. Remember, you can leave a small space in between tabs. And it's okay if your tabs overlap a little bit. Fold each of them back. This one was not quite cured yet, so I need to make sure it sticks properly. Glue from the fold to the edge of each tab. This one is going to be harder to hold because I have to bend it so much. If you need to bend these pieces out of the way to get in and get a better grip, then do that. You might also have to do this in parts. If you can't hold all of them at once, maybe you need to do 2 and then glue the other 2 and hold them in place. That would be a better choice for me because I'm having a hard time gripping it. This tab looks like it came off and needs to be re-glued. I probably was a little too aggressive when I was bending it back. I've created my snout. It gets wider as it goes towards the head. Right now, we're going to glue these 4 separate pieces together using tabs, just like we did here. Fold your tab in half. This will help you really work it into place. And then on the outside, put a line of glue. Place it so that it bridges the gap between two side pieces and push it as far inside as close to the nose as possible. Fold in half, glue the outside. Remember, you don't need a lot of glue. And press it down next to the first tab that you placed. Leave a little gap in between the two. Gradually work your way out one tab at a time towards the open end of the snout. Now these two pieces are securely attached together. I can move on to another set. When you're all the way finished gluing the inside, it should look something like this. Now you can work on evening up edges. So I noticed, for example, that this piece didn't quite match up on this corner. So I'll take my scissors and snip it to match. I'll do the same thing over here. In this spot, my tab sticks out a little bit, so I can cut that off too. If I want to get rid of these sharp edges, I can bend the cardboard like this to make it a little more rounded. Now I'm ready to attach my snout to my mask.